His mouth was on my neck while my wedding ring scraped against the hotel wall. My legs were wrapped around his waist. My voice broke into pieces I could not control. It was wild. Hungry. A kind of passion I had not tasted in years. And the man between my thighs was not my husband. His name was Travis. And he was everything Daniel was not: dangerous, unpredictable, and addicted to the way I whispered his name when I was not supposed to. But just outside the hotel window, the man who had built a life for me, a home, a future, was texting me to ask if I wanted Thai or Italian for dinner. I never answered. Because I was too busy destroying him. Before I go any further, I want to say thank you to every one of you watching this story. Whether you have been riding with me since the first upload or you are just now discovering this channel, I appreciate you. To my subscribers, you are the reason I can keep telling these stories. You are the fire and the fuel. And to my new and returning viewers who have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. It costs nothing, but it means everything. And please do not forget to drop your thoughts in the comments section. I read every single one. Now, back to the story. My name is Caroline. I am 38 years old. White, born and raised in a quiet suburb just outside Charlotte, North Carolina. I met Daniel in college. He was calm, collected, the type of man who paid attention. He remembered birthdays, brought coffee to my dorm when I had late-night study sessions, and kept a photo of us in his wallet even when flip phones were the trend. Daniel was safe. And back then, safe was everything I thought I wanted. We got married at 26. Bought a 2-story house on a corner lot with blue shutters and a white porch swing. Every woman in our neighborhood told me I was lucky. Every woman envied how Daniel looked at me when I spoke. Like he was memorizing me. But safe started to feel like silence. A silence that screamed through me when I stared at the ceiling at night. Daniel worked hard, too hard. He traveled more. He kissed my forehead like I was his sister. He touched me like I was made of glass. And I started to crave something else. Then came Travis. I met him at the gym. He was everything Daniel was not. Younger, wild-eyed, cocky with a southern edge. Tattoos on his neck and a mouth that did not know how to say no. It started innocent, if you can even call it that. Small talk near the weights. A smile that lingered a second too long. His eyes traveled places Daniel's no longer did. He told me I looked like trouble. I told him he should stay away. He said, "That is exactly why I will not." The first time we touched was in the back seat of his car. I remember every sound. Every breath. Every filthy, skin-on-skin second. There was no love in it. But there was something else, something that made me feel alive. Seen. Wanted. Craved. We went back to his place. His hands were rough. His voice was low. He asked if I was sure. I was sure. That night, I did not sleep. Not because of guilt. But because of the way my body still ached for more. When I got home, Daniel was asleep on the couch. My dinner was in the microwave, with a note in his handwriting that said, "I missed you." That was the first time I cried. But it was not the last. Travis became my habit. A dangerous, toxic, obsessive addiction. He sent me texts in the middle of the night. Photos. Videos. Things Daniel would never say, never imagine. And I liked it that way. I became two women. One who cooked Daniel's breakfast, folded his shirts, made small talk at dinner. And one who met Travis in dark parking lots and cheap hotels, who begged to be touched like she did not belong to anyone. The sex was violent sometimes. The kind that left bruises on my thighs and bite marks on my shoulder. I wore scarves in summer and blamed yoga for my sore limbs. But it was not just sex. It was power. Control. Escape. I told myself I deserved it. That Daniel should have noticed me slipping. That it was his fault I felt invisible. That if he really loved me, he would have stopped me before I fell. But the truth is, he did love me. He just trusted me too much to see the fall coming. One night, Daniel surprised me. He came home early from a trip. He brought flowers. He said he missed me. And all I could think about was how I had Travis on my knees the night before. I smiled. I kissed him. I made love to him, just to keep the lie alive. But I hated myself afterward. Not for cheating. But for faking it with the man who gave me everything. The guilt started to rot me from the inside out. But not enough to stop. Because Travis knew me in ways Daniel never would. One night, after one of our secret meetups, Travis looked at me while I was dressing and said, "You know you are never going back, right?" I looked at him and laughed. But somewhere deep inside, I knew he might be right. I started timing my lies the way other women timed their hair appointments. 30 minutes here. 45 minutes there. I would tell Daniel I was running errands, going to yoga, helping a friend. And each time, I was really just climbing into Travis's car or stepping into a hotel room where the curtains stayed shut and the sheets smelled like secrets. I became good at it, almost too good. I would walk into our house afterward like nothing had happened. I would laugh at Daniel's jokes, cook his favorite meals, even sit on his lap while he scrolled through TV shows to find something we both liked. And the whole time, I would pretend like my body had not just betrayed him in every possible way. There was a sick power in it. A rush. Like I had stolen something from both men and neither of them had figured it out yet. But power has a cost. And lies, they do not stay buried forever. It started with little things. Travis began texting more often. Not just late nights anymore, but during breakfast, during errands, during the time I was supposed to be with Daniel. He got bold. He would ask for photos when I was in the kitchen, whisper things over the phone when Daniel was in the other room. I should have ended it right there. But I was in too deep. Too hooked. And somewhere along the way, Travis stopped being a fantasy. He started to act like he owned me. He would ask me who Daniel was texting. What time he was leaving. If I had kissed him that day. At first, it was thrilling, having someone so obsessed with me. But then it started to feel like I was living with a loaded gun pointed at both of us. Meanwhile, Daniel, he changed too. Only he did not become suspicious. He became sweet. Loving. More present. He would wake me up with kisses on my shoulder. He planned weekend getaways. He even started lighting candles during dinner and playing the old playlists we used to dance to in college. I would catch him watching me across the table with that same soft expression he always had, like I was still the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. It crushed me. Because I knew what I had done. And what I was still doing. One afternoon, while folding laundry, I found a small box tucked into one of Daniel's jacket pockets. I opened it and my stomach dropped. A diamond bracelet. Rose gold. Simple and elegant. There was a note underneath, scribbled on one of his yellow work post-its. For everything I do not say enough. You are still the best decision I ever made. I broke down on our bedroom floor. But I did not stop seeing Travis. The addiction was bigger than guilt. Bigger than fear. It was like I had built two separate houses inside myself. One with Daniel, safe, soft, loving. The other with Travis, wild, lustful, destructive. And I lived between them like a ghost. The real twist came on a rainy Tuesday. Daniel was working from home, and I told him I had a volunteer meeting. In reality, I had a hotel room booked with Travis, room 314, the one with the leather headboard and the red curtains. I left the house in a black trench coat with nothing underneath. It was one of those days where I wanted to be ruined. The sex was fast. Loud. The kind that makes your knees shake when you try to stand afterward. And when I looked in the mirror, I did not see a cheater. I saw a woman who felt alive, for the first time in years. But just as I was getting dressed, Travis pulled something out of his jacket. A small square envelope. I looked at him and asked, "What is that?" He smiled. But it was the kind of smile that made my skin crawl. He handed me the envelope and said, "Insurance." Inside was a printed photo. Me. On top of him. My head thrown back. My wedding ring clearly visible on my hand. I froze. He leaned back against the pillows, completely unbothered, and said, "Do not worry. I have dozens." I stared at him, stunned. He chuckled. "Relax," he said. "I would never show Daniel. Unless you ever tried to ghost me. Then, maybe." That was the moment I realized, Travis was no longer a thrill. He was a threat. I left without saying a word. That night, I came home shaking. Daniel had ordered takeout. He was wearing the t-shirt I loved, the one with the faded college logo. He kissed my cheek and asked if I wanted to watch a movie. I nodded. But my heart was thundering so hard in my chest I could barely hear the words on the screen. I knew what I had to do. I had to end it. But Travis did not take no easily. He started showing up near my job. Waiting outside the grocery store. Sending messages like, "Miss me yet?" or, "Bet he did not make you scream like I did." I blocked him. But the damage was done. One day, I came home to Daniel sitting on the edge of our bed. He looked calm. Too calm. He was holding my phone. My stomach dropped. He asked, "Who is Travis?" I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. He held up the screen. A message that had somehow slipped past my blocked list. "Next time, wear something tight. You know what I like." I wanted to lie. To spin something. Anything. But his face, the betrayal in his eyes, it was like watching the light go out of someone who had only ever loved you. He did not yell. He did not cry. He just stood up and walked out of the room. And just like that, the house I had built on lies started to fall apart. Daniel did not come home that night. He left his wedding ring on the bathroom counter, right beside the toothbrush I had bought him 2 months ago. The blue one. The one I labeled with a small sticker because I thought it was cute. The one I had cleaned earlier that day, never knowing it would be the last time I would ever touch anything that belonged to him as his wife. I sat on our bed, my hands frozen in my lap. There was no screaming. No slamming doors. Just the sound of silence, the kind that fills your bones and tells you that something is officially over. The house was so quiet, I could hear my own breathing. And for the first time since I started cheating, I did not feel powerful. I did not feel desired or free or dangerous. I felt like a ghost. And I knew right then, this was what I had earned. The next morning, he came back. Not to talk. Not to fight. But to pack. He walked past me like I was a stranger. He did not say my name. He did not ask for an explanation. He moved around the room with calm, deliberate motions, folding clothes, stacking books, unplugging chargers. I stood in the hallway, watching him like a child watching her father leave. My throat burned. I wanted to scream. Beg. Lie. Say something to make it make sense. But I had already said everything, in the bedsheets of another man. He closed the suitcase and zipped it slowly, like it hurt. Then he looked up at me. His voice was low. Flat. Barely holding itself together. He said, "I loved you. Every day. I gave you everything. And you handed yourself to someone else like I never even mattered." I opened my mouth, and I swear the words were there. Somewhere. But the moment I tried to speak, I saw it in his eyes. He was gone. Long before he walked out that door. He did not slam it. He closed it gently. Like he was trying not to wake up the last pieces of love he still had left for me. Travis tried calling me that night. I did not answer. The next day, I unblocked him, not because I missed him, but because I wanted to see what he would say now that my life was in shambles. His first message was, "Guess it is just us now. You finally made your choice." I stared at it for 10 minutes. Then typed, "You were never the choice." He responded almost immediately, "Then why did you keep coming back?" I did not reply. Because he was right. I went back to him again and again. Not because he loved me. He never did. But because I wanted to feel like someone still saw me. Because I got high off the thrill of being desired. Because I let lust convince me it was passion. And now? I had nothing. Not even Travis. Because after that last message, he disappeared. No more texts. No more photos. No more, "See you soon." He was gone. And I was left in the ruins. People started to notice. Our friends. Our neighbors. My coworkers. They asked where Daniel was. I said he was traveling. I said we were working things out. I said everything except the truth, that I had cheated on the only man who ever truly loved me. Eventually, the truth leaked out anyway. The small-town grapevine did not take long. I could feel the stares in the grocery store. The way people whispered behind my back. How mutual friends stopped inviting me to couples' dinners. I became the woman who destroyed her own marriage. The woman who had it all, and still wanted more. And the worst part? They were right. One night, I went through Daniel's drawer. The one he used to keep his letters, receipts, and random notes. In the back, folded in half, was a sheet of paper. A list. Things I love about Caroline. He had written it for our anniversary a few years back and never gave it to me. I read every line. The way she snorts when she laughs. Her hands, always cold, but always reaching for me at night. How she remembers what I forget. Her voice in the morning. How she makes the house feel like a home. That she chose me. That she stayed. That she loves me, even when I do not deserve it. I fell apart on the bedroom floor. Because he believed I loved him. Even when I was cheating. Even when I was breaking every part of him. He believed in me. And I turned that belief into ash. Months passed. I stopped answering friends. I deactivated social media. The silence became my companion. I tried to write Daniel letters. I burned every one. What could I say? That I missed him? That I would do it differently if I could? That I was sorry? None of it mattered anymore. Because this was not a story of redemption. This was a story of consequence. And I earned every bit of it. People say time heals. But what they never tell you is that some wounds become part of your soul. Some mistakes do not come with second chances. And some men, when you lose them, they never look back. Daniel was my safe place. The one man who made me feel like I was enough. And I destroyed him. Not with a weapon. But with my choices. With my silence. With my body. And now, all I have left is a house full of memories I cannot bear to pack away. No forgiveness. No reunion. Just regret. And the sound of a door that never opened again.